In Cana of Galilee, during a wedding feast, a crisis loomed beneath the joyful celebration. The wine had run out. For the hosts, it was a moment of great embarrassment. Mary, the mother of Jesus, noticed the dilemma and approached her son with quiet urgency. "They have no more wine," she said, her tone filled with faith. "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied gently, "My hour has not yet come." Yet Mary, confident in his compassion, turned to the servants and said, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 large stone jars, their capacity enough to hold gallons of water. Jesus directed the servants, "Fill the jars with water." They obeyed, filling them to the brim. Then he instructed, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." As the master tasted the water, now transformed into wine, his astonishment was evident. "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink," he exclaimed to the bridegroom. "But you have saved the best till now." The feast resumed, joy restored, but the moment carried a significance far beyond the celebration. It was the first sign of Jesus' glory, a quiet yet profound revelation of the abundance of God's kingdom. His disciples, witnessing the miracle, believed in him anew. Jesus' ministry grew, and the crowds following him swelled. One day, on the shores of Galilee, a vast multitude gathered to hear him teach. As evening approached, the people grew hungry. The disciples urged Jesus to send them away to find food, but he replied, "You give them something to eat." "Master, we have only 5 loaves and 2 fish, they protested. "Bring them to me," Jesus said. He directed the people to sit on the grass, lifting the meager offering in his hands. Looking up to heaven, he gave thanks, broke the loaves, and distributed the food to his disciples. As they handed it out, the bread and fish multiplied in their hands. The crowd, over 5,000 men, not counting women and children, ate until they were satisfied. When the meal was finished, 12 baskets of leftovers remained, a vivid testament to God's provision. The people marveled, saying, "Surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world." Not all miracles were met with wonder alone. Some carried the weight of grief before the joy of restoration. In Bethany, Jesus' close friend Lazarus had fallen ill. His sisters, Martha and Mary, sent word to Jesus, but Lazarus died before he arrived. When Jesus finally reached their village, Martha ran to meet him, her voice trembling with sorrow. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus looked at her with compassion and declared, "Your brother will rise again." Martha replied, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." "I am the resurrection and the life," Jesus said, his voice steady and sure, cutting through the grief that surrounded him. "The one who believes in me will live, even though they die." His words carried both comfort and a profound challenge, inviting faith in the midst of loss and despair. Mary, overwhelmed by sorrow, fell at his feet, her tears mingling with the dust of the road. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died," she wept, her voice trembling with a mixture of anguish and trust. Seeing her grief in the tears of those who mourned, Jesus himself wept, a moment of deep compassion that revealed his humanity and his divine love for those who suffer. Standing before the tomb of Lazarus, Jesus commanded, "Take away the stone." Martha hesitated, her voice faltering. "Lord, by now there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" Jesus replied, his words a gentle yet firm call to trust in him. As the stone was rolled away, the stench of death mingled with the air, but Jesus' eyes lifted to heaven. "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I say this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe you sent me." Then with a voice of unshakable authority, he cried out, "Lazarus, come forth!" A collective gasp spread through the crowd as Lazarus appeared, stepping out of the shadows of the tomb, his hands and feet still bound in burial cloths. "Unbind him and let him go," Jesus commanded, and with each step Lazarus took, life and hope surged among those who witnessed the miracle. The crowd stood in awe, their mourning transformed into wonder. Many believed in him that day, their hearts ignited by the undeniable power of God. But others, their hearts hardened by pride and fear, carried word of the miracle to the religious leaders, fueling their growing determination to put an end to Jesus' influence. Through every sign, every parable, and every word, Jesus revealed the heart of God, a kingdom of compassion, mercy, and eternal life. His teachings pierced through the surface of religious tradition, reaching into the depths of the human heart and challenging the pride, apathy, and self-righteousness that separated people from God. He called all to humility, faith, and love, even as he walked resolutely toward the sacrifice that would redeem the world. He gathered his disciples for one last meal in an upper room in Jerusalem. The air was heavy with tension, an almost tangible weight of anticipation lingering in the dimly lit room. The disciples, unaware of the full extent of what lay ahead, reclined at the table, their voices subdued. Suddenly, Jesus broke the silence. "Truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me." The impact of his words struck like thunder, leaving everyone stunned.